Philadelphia News, team of my heart.
You've been waiting, you've been hoping, and you've been hurting. Every time you check Sixers news, it feels like the same cycle. Rumors, uncertainty, and the frustration of watching a team you love get stuck in the mud. You want answers, you want solutions, and you want to believe that this season won't just be another chapter of disappointment. But tell me, what would you say if I told you there's a scenario on the table right now, one that could change the entire direction of your Sixers? Would you hold on until the end of this story to see if you recognize the moment when everything shifts? Here's your challenge. As you listen, I want you to try to spot the exact second when you realize who the story is really about. And when you do, drop it in the comments. Let's see who can figure it out first. Because let's be honest, you felt the pain of promises not kept. You've seen the big contracts, the headlines, the star power moves that were supposed to put you on top of the East, and yet here you are watching another offseason filled with talk of trade scenarios. It's not just numbers on a spreadsheet, it's your loyalty, your energy, your belief in this team being tested again and again. You deserve more than frustration, you deserve hope, and you deserve results. Right now, the Sixers are carrying one of the heaviest salary sheets in the NBA, sitting with the 12th highest allocation. That weight isn't just financial, it's emotional for you as a fan. Because when the front office sinks over $50 million into one player, you expect dominance, leadership, and consistency. What you got instead was a letdown, a season of regression, and the growing whispers of regret that you never wanted to hear. Doesn't it sting when you think about what those millions could mean if they were spread across players who actually delivered every night? Here's the thing, you're not crazy for feeling let down. You were promised fireworks, but instead you got flickering sparks. And now you're looking at a situation where the Sixers could finally cut ties with the weight that's holding them back. Imagine this deal that clears the books, frees up space, and hands the keys to the young core that's already showing flashes of brilliance. Doesn't that sound like the solution you've been craving? Think about Tyrese Maxey, your guy, the spark plug, the one who plays with heart every possession. Think about VJ Edgecombe and Jared McCain, kids who represent the future, fresh legs, energy, and that hunger that you want to see on the floor. Pair them with a healthy Joel Embiid. Yes, healthy, that word you've been waiting for. And suddenly, the Sixers aren't just stuck anymore. Suddenly, they're free to build something that feels real, sustainable, and competitive. But of course, there's always a price. You can't just wave a magic wand and reset the team. You gotta make a move. And in this case, the move is bold, painful even. Because it means parting ways with someone who was supposed to be the piece that lifted you higher. Instead, he turned into the weight dragging you down. And now, Memphis is on the line, waiting with an offer that could give you exactly what you've been asking for: flexibility, depth, and a future. Memphis, of all places, sees opportunity where you see frustration. They've got a hole on the wing, they've got Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. ready to compete, and they're willing to gamble on what you no longer believe in. For them, it's high reward at medium risk. For you, it's release. And maybe that's what hurts most, seeing another team excited for the player you've grown tired of. But take a second, think bigger. This isn't about losing, it's about repositioning. It's about finally admitting that clinging to what doesn't work is worse than taking a chance on something new. And for you, as a Sixers fan, it's about recognizing that sometimes addition comes through subtraction. Doesn't that hit you right where you've been feeling it all along? Because let's face it, you're not just tired of waiting, you're tired of false hope. You're tired of watching players with massive salaries walk into the Wells Fargo Center without the fire you expect. And the harsh truth, the numbers don't lie. A shooting percentage that dipped, production that fell off a cliff compared to past seasons, and a presence that felt more like a burden than a blessing. And when you think about the future, about the young guns who deserve their chance, you realize this move isn't just logical, it's necessary. For the first time in a long time, a trade could actually feel like liberation, like the Sixers cutting ties with what's been holding them hostage and giving you a chance to believe again. So here's the promise to you.
Stay with me through this story, and by the end, you'll not only know exactly who we're talking about, you'll also see why this move might be the spark that finally changes everything. But I'll warn you, it won't be easy to hear, because this isn't just about stats or contracts. This is about trust, disappointment, and the painful reality of saying goodbye to someone you once believed in. You've been through this before, haven't you? The Sixers make a bold move, bring in a big name, and you're told it's the missing piece. You buy the jersey, you believe the hype, and for a moment you even let yourself dream of the parade down Broad Street. But when the dust settles, you're left with disappointment instead of dominance. Tell me, doesn't it feel like the cycle keeps repeating? And the worst part, it's not just the missed shots or the slow nights, it's the weight you feel every time you see that contract number. $50+ million for a player who's supposed to carry you, but instead makes you wonder what could have been if that money was spread across a team built to win. How many times have you asked yourself, why do we keep investing in promises that never pay off? Now, here's where it gets interesting. Imagine this trade scenario. Instead of waiting around for another wasted season, the Sixers pull the trigger. Out goes the contract, the inconsistency, the questions, and in comes a package built for flexibility. Veterans like Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and Brandon Clark. Guys who may not put up 30 a night, but bring grit, defense, and energy. Add to that a first-round pick, and suddenly the balance sheet looks cleaner, the rotation looks deeper, and the future looks brighter. Would you rather have that than being stuck in the same trap? But here's the part that really tests you. How do you feel about the Sixers stepping back now to take a bigger leap later? Because if we're being real, this trade doesn't guarantee wins today. It's not a banner next season move. It's a let's finally build something sustainable move. And that's where you come in. Do you agree with resetting now to give Maxey, Edgecombe, and McCain the spotlight they deserve? Or do you believe in clinging to what hasn't worked? Drop it in the comments, because this is the kind of debate only true fans like you can have. And think about it from Memphis' side. They're watching this situation like a hawk. They see a player that didn't fit in Philly, and they're thinking, that's our guy. That's the missing wing we need to run with Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. For them, it's not a burden, it's an opportunity. Doesn't it sting to think another fan base could get excited about the very player you're ready to move on from? Still, as tough as that is, you know deep down this might be the cleanest break the Sixers can make. A chance to finally reset the narrative, to stop being haunted by what should have been, and to give you, the fan, something you haven't felt in a long time. Relief. Relief from the constant excuses, from the endless injury reports, from the he just needs time explanations. Don't you want to breathe again? This is where emotions split. Some of you are thinking, yes, send him out, let's get our future back. Others are holding on, saying, maybe he's got one more All-Star season left. That's why I'm asking you, where do you stand? Do you believe it's time to cut ties? Or do you think keeping him around is worth the gamble? Tell me in the comments. And if you're really with me all the way to this point, comment the word freedom, because that's exactly what this move represents for the Sixers. Now, here's the moment you've been waiting for. The player in question, the one who came to Philadelphia with so much promise, the one with the massive $51.6 million hit against the cap, the one at the center of this mock trade with Memphis, is none other than Paul George. And this is why you need to subscribe and hit that notification bell, because trades like this, the ones that shape the Sixers' future, are going to keep surfacing all season. You don't want to miss the Sixers news when it breaks. You don't want to be the last one to know, and you definitely don't want to be left out of the conversations that matter most to you as a fan. Stay locked in, stay informed, and stay part of the real Sixers conversation.